Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dave.
It's Main Street Electrical Podcast.
Oh, yes.
And of course, now we can say, hey, Susie, and hey, Matt.
Oh, hey.
Hey, guys. Oh, hey.
It's the Main Street Electrical
What are you
Podcast.
doing here?
Fancy meeting you here on the Zoom.
Seeing you here.
Welcome back to the ImagineEars in part 3 of our 3-part series on the 50 things we love about Walt Disney World. Now, unless everything just goes crazy and just falls apart completely, you guys should be hearing this episode. And by you guys, I mean the listening audience should be hearing this episode just a day or two before the big day. Actually, I think like the 30th. So tomorrow basically is going to be the big day. It's going to be the 50th anniversary when all 4 of us and 75,000 of our closest friends are all crammed together on Main Street to see
Find one.
to hear like a little pinprint of Josh tomorrow on a tiny little stage way out in the distance going, welcome here, everybody. And everybody cheers and runs away and he stands in the merch lines and it'll be awesome. It'll be great. I'm so excited. We've been planning for this for like a year and a half to 2 years. And so it's finally coming down. And then we don't know what to do after that. We're like, okay, now that that's over, go dining plan whenever it comes back. Let's root for that.
No, New Year's Eve.
All right. So Jen, I got to ask you, how did you Disney this week?
Well, specifically this morning, I Disneyed by getting a party of 27 in at for dining reservations. Yes.
Nice.
Party of 27.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot of people wanting to eat at Olivia's in Old Key West.
Yeah, no, it was 50s prime time. 50s prime time. So that
Oh my gosh, it's like half the restaurant.
Yeah. I did good. I'm just gonna give myself a pat on the back there. So reasons to use a travel professional.
How many groups did you break it up into? Like
8, 6, 6, and then I had 7 more left, and I ended up having to do 3 and 4. So 5 groups.
Still, that's really good.
All
Very
within
good. Matt,
half an hour.
How'd you Disney this week?
Who? Which one's next?
Matt, sorry. Matt, how'd you Disney this week?
Well, today I spent most of the day crying,
Oh, cool.
finding Nemo the musical, just listening to the soundtrack over and
Yes.
over.
Yes.
Did you really have to trigger me right now? Like I'm just
yeah.
asking.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just make a Dino Land USA expansion.
Maybe they could bring back
Construction
Tarzan
walls went up in
Rock.
Dino Land USA.
Woohoo!
I saw that construction walls around Primeval World. I don't know what they're
Okay.
doing, but do we have
Can't
any
get
idea what
better.
what
It
they're
hasn't
doing,
been
Matt?
going. Primeval Wars.
Bulldozing.
No, I mean they're taking it down. Basically, it's all coming down.
I
Oh, yeah.
know. I love that
Oh, yeah.
though.
Yeah, the ride vehicles are all gone.
And now I'm wondering if
Mm.
they're going to just re-theme Dino Land USA altogether into some sort of branded content. The Elena of Avalor area or something. I don't know what's over on Disney Plus.
What?
Disney Junior. I don't know. Susie, how'd you Disney this week?
Whoa, what did my voice just do? Just been quoting some trips for our listeners, so that's been fun. And this is my first international client. They are not located in the US, so
Nice.
I've had to go to
Oh.
the old Google and convert US dollars to Canadian dollars.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
all kinds of foreign policy going on.
Indeed.
So I'm going to echo what Jen said about dining this morning for me, because I had to do dining this morning. And my dining didn't work early this morning. And I actually have only an hour before my kid gets up, and then everything else I have to work on that. So for whatever reason, I couldn't get, it's one of those quirky things that all travel agents know about when they do dining, where it just doesn't come together correctly. So I had to work on it all morning, but over the course of the 4 hours for this party of 6, I got Be Our Guest, and I got Cinder's Royal Table, and I got Prime. I got like all except for the opening night Ohana, the first night they were there, which is almost impossible to get for the first night. I got everything they wanted at the time they wanted. I was very proud of myself because typically by mid-morning, all that stuff's gone.
100%.
So yeah. This is guys out there. This is why you want to get a travel agent, a really good travel agent you trust, because they can take care of this for you while you're sleeping or working or doing whatever. We can come back to you and be like, hey, we got your dining for you, all set. So yeah, that's why you want to call us. So let's
Most
get
of
to
the time.
most of the time.
Most of the
Let's
time.
get to our top 50.
Locked
And
up line.
I think just in the interest of time, I'm going to skip the rereading of all of the other ones we've already called out one at a time. And so I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to do that.
Matt's face is
Matt's list at number 50
Oh,
was.
yeah,
So,
okay.
we're going to do our top 15 here. Of course, listen to the 2 previous episodes to hear 50 through 31 and 30 through 16 of our 50 favorite things ever at Walt Disney World, to define however you want to define it. And Susie, we're going to let you go first this time with your number
good.
15 on your list.
Number 15, just in time for everything going on right now as we enter the last part of the year. Just holiday decorations in general, from including Halloween and Christmas, the pumpkins. I saw the carriage pumpkins that they have up now for the 50th, which are so cute. I can't wait to see those in person. Disney just does such a great job. And I know they had something on ABC a few years ago. I would imagine it's somewhere on Disney Plus about that process of going basically overnight and everything's freaking pumpkins. It's amazing. So they do a great job and have to work really hard, really fast, and it pays off.
Nice. I love the holidays. I love Disney at the holidays.
Same.
I mean, Halloween's great, but I love Christmas time.
Yeah.
I love Christmas too.
Very nice. Matt, number 15 for you.
I also had holidays at Disney. I was thinking more Christmas. That's just where I have most of my holiday memories. Although I do like Halloween. Mickey's not so scary, but I think the resorts being decorated for Christmas and candlelight processional and the special fireworks and shows. It's
Cookies.
It's great. So
Yeah.
cookies, yes. Gingerbread house.
Yes. The walk-in, or the one you can actually stand in, the actual working life-size gingerbread house, which is still amazing to me.
Yeah.
And even though it is edible, folks, don't try to eat the gingerbread house. My kid included, just in case. Just because it smells like cookies doesn't mean you should eat the cookies. All right, so I'll go next, and then we'll let Jen bring up the last one here in our little rotation. Number 15 for me is an attraction, and that's the People Mover. Because to me, the People Mover is more than just a ride. It is, I don't want to say an experience, because that puts this whole like aura of fascination on it. But the People Mover to me is something that's a must do for me every time, because of what it does, what it means, the attraction that it was, the attraction that it is. It's a great chance to get together with friends, ride the People Mover. We have a great picture of Susie, myself, and Jen all on the People Mover together. And it's a great way to look at Tomorrowland. It's a great way to kind of chill out and relax. And if you're my wife, take a nap once it gets dark in Maine, in Space Mountain. I love the People Mover. It's one of my favorite attractions, and plus the line sometimes can get long, but it's a continually moving line, which always helps. I hate lines that just stand there. I'd rather be in a 30-minute continually moving line than a 20-minute line that just stands there, because you keep moving kind of like Buzz Lightyear. And so People Mover is number 15 on my list. Jen, on your list.
On mine, I'm actually going to switch to, because since we already talked about it this time, the holidays at Walt Disney World. That was my 14, but I'm going to make it 15. And also, I'm just going to throw out, I love the Christmas decorations at Hollywood Studios. I love them. I think they are so adorable. So I echo everything.
Little Santa hat on Gertie, and
I love it. With a little ornament in her mouth. So cute.
I love it. I love the 50s or 40s looking.
Yeah, like the vibe.
Rudolphs, and they're so cute.
Yeah, like the kitschy stuff. Oh, it's adorable.
It's a good time. I can't wait to see it. I get to go down for Thanksgiving for a week, which I'm excited about seeing all of it, because by that time, all the resorts will be up and all the Christmas stuff will be up across the parks. And I'm real excited about all of that. Matt, number 14 on your list.
Number 14 on my list is walking into Magic Kingdom. I think it's my favorite park to walk into. The reveal, just walking underneath the train station and just coming out on the main street and seeing the castle at the end of the street. It's just it's one of my favorite things for sure. So
it's a good call.
Plain and simple.
We might talk about that a little bit later on sometime tonight. Teaser.
That's
called
spoiler.
Teaser, Susie, number 14 on your list.
Number 14 on my list. I love being able to see when it happens. First of all, I love when this happens to me, but it rarely does. So I like watching this happen to other people too. I just love cast members going out of their way to do something special for another guest.
Yeah.
And obviously I love it when it happens to me, but there is something like secondhand magic where you get to see it happen to another person. If they have a kid getting something for the first time, or it's someone coming in, like I saw a lady with she was turning 100 or whatever at Disney, and her family was celebrating, and it's just so all the kind of stuff when the cast members just go above and beyond for guests in general.
Wow.
But I really just like watching it happen to other people. It's just, you feel happy for them, which is the whole point.
For sure.
Number 14 on my list, not nearly as sentimental. Mine is Mickey Waffles, because I love Mickey Waffles, and I feel like it's a rite of passage. Even my kid, who has allergies on everything and has a very special diet, he's had Mickey Waffles before, and he loves Mickey Waffles. The wonderful things about the Disney chefs is they will make things for you for all diets, and so he's had his own version of Mickey Waffles with his own syrup that he could eat, and he will dip everything in the syrup, not just the waffle. But or just going to
smart, by the way.
I mean,
exactly.
Syrup makes everything
raising
better.
them right.
I mean, we were at Bon Voyage and we had like a little steak platter, and he had steak and like potatoes and Mickey Waffles, and he's dipping the potatoes in the syrup. He's dipping the steak in the syrup, and I'm like, it's your chance, kid. Go for it. You're not going to get this at home. So dig in. But no, like, I remember being at All Star Sports. Jen, close your ears. A couple of years ago, and the last thing I got to do before I boarded Magical Express was go to the food court, order a big plate of Mickey Waffles, and just chow down on like 4 of them. It was awesome. Mickey Waffles are great, and they're iconic. So yeah, number 14 on my list, Mickey Waffles. Jen.
All right. So I have, and I specified, but I should probably broaden it. The smell of Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think Susie mentioned last time. Like you walk in and it's that.
Yeah, Rome. I said Rome.
Oh, well,
burning. But so you've got all the other burns.
That one's coming. But yeah, like but somebody I think said like the water, it's like the chlorine slightly musty.
Oh, the water. Yeah,
amazing.
I said that one too.
The water
I just
smell.
like smelling things apparently.
Yeah. So I just
sense.
love that, like, oh, I'm in Pirates. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Finally know you're in Pirates. All right, so that was 14. Matt, let's go back to you for our number 13 on our list.
Number 13 for me is Nighttime Spectaculars.
Ooh.
Ooh. I just kind of lumped them all in there. They're all great.
It's fair.
Ones that we have left.
Do
Which
you
are very
have one in
few.
particular that is your favorite, maybe?
I mean, currently or like all time?
Both.
Okay. Well, currently, Happily Ever After.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's one of only, well, no, there are 3. So Happily Ever After, Epcot Forever, and then
Doesn't Hollywood have one?
Yeah, Hollywood has.
Oh,
What are they doing right now?
I keep forgetting
Yeah.
that exists.
Oh, that
Wonder
one's back.
World of
You know, I keep
Animation.
forgetting.
I
Okay.
truly keep
I
forgetting
didn't
that
even
even
know
exists.
it was back.
Of
It's
course,
back.
by the time you listen to this episode, Happily Ever After will be
Mhm.
like in its last 2 or 3 nights.
Or it might be
of-
done.
Same,
No, it'll be
same
done.
with,
It'll be
Yeah.
done.
same with
'cause
Epcot Forever. Same
yeah,
with Epcot
they're
Forever.
done like the 27th, 26th.
Oh, are they stopping?
28,
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe. Because I'm
28th.
coming in. I'm coming in.
So
Yeah.
they're not
see
doing
what
it
we're
on
talking
the 30th.
Nope, they're not doing it on the
Nope.
30th.
about. Nope. No, Epcot Forever's gone all by the
Yep.
end, the 29th, I believe, or
Yep.
20, whatever. I mean, yeah. So those are all be gone, and
Wow.
so yeah, there'll be a couple days
Yeah.
without it, which is sad.
Yeah.
Susie, 13.
Lucky 13. I think 2 people said this last episode, but the monorail, please stand clear of the doors. And although I was 2 class credits away from a double minoring in Spanish, I will not be attempting it in Spanish. But that I love the shirts. I think
Yeah.
that's cute. That guy's voice, I don't know who he is, but iconic. I want him to narrate my
is.
life.
Yeah. We should look that
Stand
up. Somebody
clear of the
probably
doors.
Yeah,
listens to
who
that.
does
And
that?
if he's alive, I'm sure we can get him on the show.
Oh yeah, we need to. So,
I
And
mean,
it's
if
just
he's
an
alive.
hour of him just saying it repeatedly.
right.
Number 13 on my list, and again, it's going to go back to it's kind of a ride. That's the Skyliner. I love the Skyliner. It's very new. I know it's only been around a couple of years, and it's had its fair share of problems here and there. But to me, it's really the first mode of transportation that I've done that I truly am in love with. Like the buses are fine. I'll ride the bus if I need to. The ferries are fine, and whatever. But the Skyliner to me is like appointment viewing. I love riding the Skyliner. My kid loves it, and maybe that's part of it too, is that my child loves it so much. But it's just a unique way to get around the parks. It is harkening back to the old days when we had the Sky Buckets in Magic Kingdom, and now they're like actually serving a purpose versus just one side of the park to the other. There's those rumors out there that they may stretch it out to other parks, which I don't know how long it would take to ride that to Animal Kingdom, but still. Just the Skyliner to me is fantastic. So 13 on my list that I love about Walt Disney World, and that is the Skyliner. Gondolas, the Sky Buckets, whatever you want to call them. Jenn, for you.
All right, for me, and this might be a weird one for y'all, but dining at Geyser Point, which I think somebody else had, but I
Geyser Point.
we have loved just going over midday, break from the Magic Kingdom, boat on over, grab some amazing food, and it is so peaceful. There's this cute little family of ducks too, and they like kind of come around. So yeah, I love Geyser Point.
I've been there once, and because I met up with my friend Joey, Jenn, you know Joey.
Yeah.
And this is last September. We were actually at Fort Wilderness Cabins, and the only thing open at night was Geyser Point. And so Joey came and picked me up, and we went over there, and we had like appetizers because they were closing like 20 minutes later. And he was like, I can make y'all some apps if you want. Perfect. So that's what we had, but they were really good. Nobody else was in there. Nobody else was around, and so it was a cool little place.
Peaceful.
We liked it. Very peaceful. Now we go to number 12 on our list. Matt.
Number 12 for me is the photo opportunities at Disney World.
I hadn't thought about that.
If you're a shutterbug, why is Susie like laughing over here?
Because every time you've said something tonight, I feel like there's also like this undertone of like sarcasm or resentment, because these are things that are either going away or potentially like going to be
I'm in it.
Now it's being charged
changing over time. Yeah.
I'm in it not necessarily for Memory Maker.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Memory Maker is great, but it's definitely not on my top 50.
Right.
I'm talking about just literally the beauty of the parks themselves that lend to opportunities for really, really great photographs, whether it's of other people or if you just like landscape photography or architectural photography. I mean, you see the Instagram accounts that are just full of stuff like this. I mean, all four of the parks and all the resorts just open themselves up to really great moments that you can capture on either your phone camera or if you're a professional photographer with a nice DSLR.
Nice. Yeah, I have to slum it with my iPhone 8 camera, and hope I know how to use it. So
I just upgraded.
I need to go on
I had
YouTube
an
and
8
learn
too.
how to use this thing. So yeah.
No, I have a phone without a home button, and that's been complicated.
Well, my wife just got rid of her 7, and her 7 she's taken some great pictures on it. I'm like, that's a 7. Surely I could do better with an 8. I just don't know how to use it because the instructions are in Google Drive and I can't find it. But...
All right, David.
I hope for you all.
Susie,
help
12?
me. Somebody help me.
12.
Inside joke.
He wrote it down somewhere, I'm sure, to where it's in the drive. All right, number 12. Disney has great tours, but specifically my number 12 is the Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Oh, that's
I think that adds so richly to your appreciation and understanding for the parks. Obviously, there's a lot of history that people, may not know. I love hearing it repeatedly. I've done the tour a few times, but you always get a little bit different. And just the attention to detail, the care, the standard that Disney holds themselves to is very high.
Yes.
So Keys to the Kingdom tours is just, it's so good. Everyone needs to do it.
It is really good.
Agreed. We've done it. My wife and I have done it twice, and I'd love to do it again, just to do it. It can take a little while. It's not something for somebody who's gone to the park for the first time, but it is definitely a valuable experience. And like one of our, like you mentioned, the cast members they'll give you different tours based on the cast member. We had one young guy who talked about production, entertainment the whole time.
Oh wow!
And one older cast member who talked about Disney history. That's all she talked about was Disney history. And my wife and I still talk about the experience we had on that. So. Number 12 on my list, also with Disney history, and that is the windows on Main Street.
Oh, so good.
Now, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, if you walk down Main Street and maybe you've seen them, but they haven't really clicked as to what they are. Having a window on Main Street is a very, very high honor.
It's a big deal.
It basically, they give you a window and they kind of put like a little like business with it or something.
Very good.
Yeah, something like that. So Frank Wells, for example, has the 7 Summits expeditions. And Frank Wells was an adventurer. He actually, I believe, died in a plane crash doing those kind of things. And Roy Davis, Bob Price, Bob Foster, they were part of the founding of Walt Disney World, the pseudonym real estate development company. And I think the underlying joke there is because all the pseudonyms and fake corporations they had buying the different land and stuff. And I'm looking at a website with full of names and stuff. But the main one is you walk down towards the end there. There's Walter E. Disney Graduate School of Design and Master Planning. And that's on the very end there because those are the credits. You see all the credits as you're walking by, directed by Walt Disney World at the very end. And I love the windows of Main Street. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people don't see or they catch as they're walking by, but they don't really comprehend what they're looking at. And there's so much history.
Well, it's just a bunch of Imagineer inside jokes.
Yeah, it really is.
It's fantastic.
And I think it's great. And I think George Calagridis over at Disneyland, I believe, got one like recently. Yeah. He's been with the company 50
just
years.
like what, this week?
Yeah,
last
exactly.
week, maybe last week.
Yeah, Jen, call him. Get him on the show. We'll have him talk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No.
But yeah, so he just got a window, and like I said, it's a huge honor to get a window because there's only so much space. So yeah, windows on Main Street. That's my number 12. Jen.
Mine is the Tomorrowland Loop, the ambiance, and I just love that like retro-y, spacey, whatever. Like I have it's almost a 30-minute loop, and I have it. I love it, and I just love walking in there and seeing the aesthetic, and it just makes me happy. It's like instant smiles. Yay.
And like 4 seconds of that music and you're like, I know what that is. That's
easily.
And it's just amazing.
And it flows perfectly into Space Mountain, quite frankly. Like into the queue. So
all right, we're on the cusp of our top 10, Matt, with number 11.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, yeah. Number 11 for me, Dole Whip.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Dole Whip.
Good call.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Attraction. I have no attractions on my list. It's all
things.
Food things.
Well, I'm done with the attractions on mine. It's 13 with the buckets with the Skyliners as high as I could go with the attractions.
I have one more. I have one more attraction.
But yeah, Dole Whip, king of Disney snacks.
Now, do you like the traditional Dole Whip, or are you kind of partial to?
I like the swirl.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm a raspberry swirl guy.
Are you a float with the float or just the ice cream?
Listen, how can you guys not just take the straight pineapple? It is so good.
I mean, it is good, but vanilla makes it better.
The float is if I have a position or a place to eat it, like if there's somewhere I can go to, if I'm walking and eating, which maybe you can't do as much now, I have to do the ice cream because that's hard to eat that float as you're walking because
why? There's a straw. So. You can get a straw.
I'm not a professional like you, Jen. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying it's possible to walk and eat a Dole Whip float.
Susie, 11.
All right. I mentioned on the last episode, I love people's faces when they ride Jungle Cruise for the first time because they are very confused. And so this is one of the reasons they are confused. Number 11, the back side of water. That is so iconic. And I remember being young and like when it clicked. Because like you look at a water fountain, I'm like, it looks the exact same. Oh, Susie, oh Lord. So I love the backside of water, and I love, of course, everyone in the boat who knows it has to chime in,
backside of
and
water.
The people who don't know are there.
Oh, did she freeze? Oh. I got to tell you, on a hot day, going under that backside of water for like that 5 seconds you go there is so nice. It's so nice. You get that little mist and that little sprinkle, and it's like we feel. Oh, it's just so great.
Confused. Like what kind of?
So great.
Feels very.
Susie, you're frozen, by the way.
Oh, well, you guys are too. Oh, there I am.
Now she's moving.
You're good.
Number 11 on my list. I love the layout of the Magic Kingdom. And specifically the front part of the Magic Kingdom as you're walking in. I mean, we've talked about this before in previous episodes with Jen and I know you guys know this too, about how you walk into the train station and have to go around the corner. There's the reveal. That's like the curtain. And then there's the main attraction, see the credits, whatever. I love the hub design. I love that Walt Disney put so much effort into this in terms of just how like there's a slight incline going into the park and a slight decline coming out of the park because he knew that people were tired. The whole trash can thing with the 26 steps little experiment that he did was, I mean, like there's so many little things about the park layout that is so cool. And I just love how the whole thing is laid out. Now, obviously, as they've added more things to the parks, it's going to be it's not quite as easy to get around sometimes. And I do like that Disney's starting to work on some of those bottlenecks, because getting over there to Big Thunder sometimes is a hassle. But
Yeah.
overall, I love the spoke of the hub design with the castle sitting in the middle. I love that. I love that whole thing. Go there to the middle, and then you pick which adventure do I want to have. Fantasyland. Nope. Tomorrow. Nope. I'm going to go get some. No, I'm going to Frontierland. I'm going back to Main Street to do some shopping. Love it. Love the layout. Jen.
All right. Mine is Epcot festivals. Flower and Garden being my favorite, but I do love them all. No respecter of festivals. I just want to go to a festival at all times.
I'm a food and wine fan. I know Matt is a big fan of the International Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
Susie, do you have a favorite festival?
I don't know. Whichever one I'm at.
That's fair.
But the last year, obviously, like they've all been so scaled back that it's really hard to like fully
Taste of
appreciate.
and a touch of and so on. So now they're back, and which is exciting. And here we are at our top 10 favorite things we love about Walt Disney World. It's only taken us 3 hours to get here. Matt, kick us off with number 10 on your list.
VIP tours.
Oh,
nice.
yes.
They will change your life. If you've never done one, save up for one.
Yes.
And
I've never done one.
For all you Parks and Recs fans, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, they will change your life. You will be ruined forever. But it's great. Get a group of 10 together, and then split it between. It'll make it a little bit more cost effective for everybody, a little bit more affordable. But you'll have a great time, and then everybody will look at you as you walk past them in the.
I thought they weren't doing fast passes yet.
Oh my gosh, I hate hearing that in the lines. It's like, how are they like? Just
no, that's when I turn around. I'm like, no, that's a VIP.
We're peasants.
They paid.
The scene from it's a scene from oh wow, what did I forget? Shoot, Mike Myers, Wayne's World with the backstage passes.
We're not
Awesome. One of these days I will do a backstage tour, or I'm sorry, a VIP tour. One of these days I will have the money to do a VIP tour when Jen pays me more. Maybe when I get there. So one day.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna need our patrons to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I do our podcast, start making some money. That'd be nice. Jen, get on that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Maybe interesting
number 10 on your list. Oh, I don't understand.
Number 10, I think Matt said this recently. Or I don't remember which number it was, but it was like seeing the castle. I like seeing, and again, this episode, I kind of sound like a creeper because I keep being like, I like watching people. I like watching people experience the castle. Of course, I love that feeling, obviously, but then you look around and it's like, as soon as you turn that corner, like everyone around you who's also seeing it, you know, for the first time that day or whatever, just everyone's mood lightens briefly. And then they get mad when they're trying to like, you know, get a picture or go to Starbucks or whatever they want to do. But for that brief little second, everything is fine because you see the castle for the first time. And I just love that experience with strangers. It's kind of cool.
Little tip out there for you folks. If you do get pictures of the castle, especially if you're walking around the corner and there's your kid for the first time seeing the castle and the tears and you're all excited, make sure you get those pictures immediately uploaded to the cloud or save them somehow. We met a family, my wife and I, this is 10 years ago. She had a little digital camera and somehow she left it on a ride and had all the pictures of her daughter, 4 years old, seeing the castle for the first time in her little Minnie Mouse outfit. Her daughter was crying. She was so happy. Mommy was crying. And they lost the camera. And she's like, I don't, it's like, she said it was like a $600 camera. She's like, keep the camera. Just give me the SIM card. Just give me the SIM. I don't care. I just want the pictures. So upload them somehow. As soon as you take those pictures, get those sent out somewhere. So that way you have them just in case.
Google Photos.
Yes, that I use.
Friggin' love Google Photos.
Yeah,
look at us, David. We're moving on up.
It's automatic. It just pulls the pictures regardless.
Yeah.
That's how I got it set up. So I don't have to do anything, which is nice.
And think of the space that you save with your iPhone 7. I mean, just with the file size.
Amazing.
Well, it's very true. Well, although I do have a like a large quantity of space on here, which is kind of nice. But unless he was talking to Susie, which is
No, I finally upgraded. I have I don't know what this is. 12.
The 12.
fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy. Yeah, I have to wait till like the 14 comes out and then I get me a 10. and I'll just I'm usually 3 or 4 generations behind.
Yeah,
It's
I
cheaper.
was way behind on this one. Anyway, watching people see the castle.
Watching people.
Being creepy.
Number 10
Your
on my list, Disney cast members, just as a whole. I mean, there's something special about that job, something special about working there. And I know in any job like this, you're going to have some that aren't quite fitting the bill. But overall, we've had great experiences with so many cast members, memories we've made with so many cast members. There's not a lot of places you go that you want to get pictures with people that you're taught that work there. For whatever reason, the servers, or be it the street atmosphere, or be it cast members on the street, or cast members that come up and randomly make magic, that will walk up and be like, hey, family, why don't you come over here and sit in the VIP section for this parade? We've had that happen. Or cast members who can read a room and be like, hey, family, I see you having a tough time with little one there. Why don't you come over here to this room that we've got blocked off, but it's a quiet room. You guys can get settled down. Or, hey, family, I know you guys are having trouble. Why don't you come over here? I'll take you to the front of the line and let you meet so-and-so princess. Or, I mean, like, I love the fact they can make those decisions and do the things they do, and just it makes it worth it. I mean, it really, really is. The cast members are fantastic all the way around. You know, and you don't get that at Six Flags or Gatorland or Orlando Fun Spot. You just don't. So, you know, or Universal. I'm sure they're great at Universal, but not like a legendary status like cast members that get Disney World. Not the same. Jen, number 10 on your list.
Mine is sitting in the land pavilion. Maybe just the land pavilion as a whole. I love, like, I can just sit there at Sunshine Seasons with, you know, probably a pastry, like a chocolate croissant, coffee, look up at the balloons that represent the 4 seasons. Remember the days when they used to move. Regret that they do not move any longer, but still enjoy them. And just soak it in. There's a smell to the land pavilion that's wonderful. And then living with the land.
I forgot those balloons
living with
those balloons used to move.
Did you say feet?
Feet and sweat.
Oh,
Slightly, but also good food and other things. So I love it.
I'm kidding.
And I love the mural going up. So the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the land pavilion altogether. It's and Sunshine Seasons is one of my
That's a
favorite
great
parks.
one, Jen.
So much
I can just sit there all day. I'm just happy.
Number 9. Matt?
Me? Okay. Number 9 for me is, interesting enough, park smells.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
That does make sense.
But the good ones. The good ones. You know, popcorn on Main Street, Pirates water, soaring over the African savannah on Soaring Around the World, or through Pandora. Whether it's a ride, or if it's an actual land itself, or a resort lobby, like these scents create, you know, sensory memories.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember most from them. So
Aw.
And it's always
good one.
fun when you randomly smell something like that you smell in the park, out in the wild, like at a restaurant, or you walk by somewhere, you're like,
In the wild.
Rome burning? What's just happened? And, you know, it's there's so much identification, and it's like those memes. You can't smell a picture, and then you see a picture of Rome burning.
Like,
Yes, you can smell a picture.
Actually, I smell
Yeah.
we have an ice cream shop near our house that they make their own waffle cones, but every time I walk in there, I'm like, oh, this smells like the
Plaza?
confectionery.
the confectionery.
Yeah.
So the Plaza ice cream
Dang.
parlor does them
Oh,
too.
in the plaza. Yeah, the ice cream parlor.
Ooh, I love Plaza.
Nice.
Wow. I've just noticed a pattern in most of the rest of mine. They are in a very specific portion of Walt Disney World. So my number 9 is the Walt Disney World Railroad.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'll open this up to just, I'll say trains at Disney. You can see the remnants of the train that used to be at Fort Wilderness. There's still some ties, and you can see like there's like random lumps along the way. That's where the, you know, track used to run. And Walt had a passion for trains. I have a Walt Disney Walt's on the Magic Band in a train. My dad loved trains. We would just get on that freaking railroad and just make laps around Magic Kingdom to chill. And I miss doing that. It's been like 47 years since they started working on Tron.
Yeah.
So
at least.
It better be worth it because I want to ride this train.
Right?
It's
Brady's
been
a
over
train
1,000
guy.
days.
It's been
Yeah,
so
That's
long.
insane.
That
That
is
is
so long.
actually
Insane. It's weird to think that it's been well over 3 years, and then it's like, it has been that long, hasn't it? It's been a long time.
Crazy.
Number 9 on my list, and this hits close to home. It's Disney's DAS pass. Their usage and their implementation of a special needs pass, basically, it has saved our bacon so many times. I love how efficient it is, and I sort of remember how they did it before, but and I know there was some controversy as they moved it over to this new system because there were people that were taking advantage of it or whatever. And personally, I love this new system, and I love the fact that coming we'll be able to actually do some more things with it. But I love that Disney it values all of their guests equally. That if somebody has a need, whether it's physical or cognitive, that they want to make sure they cater to you as best they can, and they can't always cater to people. We understand that too. As there's some things that we can't do. We just know we can't do, and that's okay. But having a child that loves Slinky Dog Dash and doesn't still quite fully grasp the idea of having to wait, not being able to get a fast pass, quote unquote, DAS pass for him, and him not even seeing the ride, and we just go back whenever it's our time, and without having to wait in line, it's just tremendous. And any parent who's ever had to deal with one of these things will know that it's just a lifesaver. So I love that Disney has done this for their guests and for guests of all kinds and all types. DAS pass to me is one of my favorite things I love about Walt Disney World. So Jen, number 9 on your list.
Mine's another smell. I'm into my smell categories here. It is the smell of Rome burning because yes, and I have a candle, and I'm not gonna lie, I was in the store. I don't have a candle near me, and I was like, "It smells like Rome burning." Immediately bought the candle. It's called Campfire, and it's perfect. So, and all of Spaceship Earth, I'll throw that in there too, because I love the whole ride, which also has a slightly musty smell, and that's okay.
I think maybe they'll keep that musty smell when they finally gut it.
Yeah, I was
about
to say, I don't know if they can get that out at this point.
They need to. I'll be very disappointed if they don't.
They need to bottle up that mouse gear smell and sell it in a candle or something.
Yes.
Especially since mouth gears has gone away. Because creation is going to have this new.
Why do you have to be
smell,
hurtful?
So
Why do you have to be hurtful, David Beller? You're like, mouse gear is gone. Oh, thanks for triggering me before bed. Whatever.
Maybe they should have like a little candle thing that when you open the lid, it smells like a mouse gear, but it plays "Just Keep Swimming" from the Finding Nemo ride or attraction.
Now Matt's triggered. So.
I would do that. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Get all your lumps in one little session.
So
Number
hateful.
8 on your list.
Number 8 on my list is park music. That park smells. Now I have park music for the same reason. I mean, the music in the parks is just iconic, whether it's attraction music like Pirates or Haunted Mansion, or the land music that just kind of sets the tone for the overall vibe of the land that you're in. So I love Adventureland's soundtrack, or Tomorrowland, Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, that's a good one.
Soundtrack.
Yeah, Grammy winning.
Mm-hmm.
There, John Williams. So yeah, I mean, Disney music is iconic, and we didn't even mention the shows. So I think that's most. So
you guys are coming up with all these things, and I'm like, I should have put that on my list. Dang it! And now I can't.
I know.
I
was thinking about shows earlier too. I was like, crap.
The last 8 on my list, I don't want to take anything off of it. So now I'm just like,
yeah, I don't either.
7A is this, and 7B is that. Susie.
Oh well, number 8, Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
And I just like the pineapple. I love pineapple. I don't need anything to like soften the blow. Just straight up.
I'm not a huge pineapple fan. I think that's why I like the swirl better, or the raspberry better.
They're all good. They are all good.
They are all good. That's fair.
Actually, we were in St. Augustine on
Labor
Day, and I walked by and I was like, "Excuse me, you're selling Dole Whip? No, that's not where this."
But they don't call it Dole Whip. They don't call it Dole Whip. Oh, do they now? They didn't use this. They didn't use it.
It has it's the Dole logo and it says Dole Whip.
They changed it.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, interesting.
This makes me uncomfortable. It's like seeing your teachers like outside of school when you're a kid. You're like, that's not where you're supposed to be. But anyway, yeah, just Dole Whip.
Also, I'm offended by the fact that other places sell Dole Whip besides the Polynesian and Magic Kingdom. Like, it should not be sold anywhere else. You should not be able to
What
get
about the
it
Dole
constantly.
Pineapple Plantation? Should they not?
Well, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, at the Disney World Resort, you should not be able to buy that anywhere but other than one or two places. You should not be able to get that at like, Saratoga Springs food court or whatever.
Well,
So
you can't.
it's not, well, you don't know that. So,
I was just there. I do know that.
And we also didn't think that Finding Nemo was going away, but like, who knows what happens at this
right?
point.
Right. Well,
everything we know is a lie.
It'll be a paid admission. Thanks, Bob Paycheck. Number 8 on my list, Disney pin collecting. And again, this is all personal because this is something my wife and I started in 2004 with our first Disney pin, the Abominable Snowman holding the snow cone. And it says Monsters Inc. on the bottom, and it's somewhere on my pin board. I can't even find it. We have thousands and thousands of pins now. We've been to pin events together. We traded together. We've helped each other look for sets and stuff. I know that she loves Small World pins and I love Hercules pins, and just, and it's a great thing for our family to do. Like my kid loves the pins. He wears the lanyard around. He doesn't really trade very much, but he wears the lanyard and everything because mommy and daddy have them. And it's just, it's a great little hobby. Of course, we were doing this too when the pins were $7.95 or something like that per pin. Really expensive ones were like, those expensive ones that were fancy were like $13, and we were trying to decide, do we pay $14 for this pin? I don't know. And now those pins are like $30. But yeah, pin collecting is just a big part of our Disney life, and so for me, that's number 8 on my list.
That's because of pinflation.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
I will see myself out of this Zoom meeting.
Oh, you just had to stick that one in, didn't you? Jen, number 8 on your
list. Number 8 for me would be riding the People Mover.
Yes, People Mover.
Always the People Mover. I have stories about all the different things on the People Mover.
You'll see.
I love it. Yeah,
that's what we need to do in October. Is the 4 of us ride the People Mover together and get that picture? Yeah. Because I'm tired of photoshopping Matt into our picture that the 3 of us have.
If it's running, I mean, it's.
You bite your tongue. What do you mean?
It better be running. I don't know. It feels very on brand that it would break down on the 50th.
It's gone down quite frequently lately.
I've heard Remy's is also going down.
It was down for like over a year. They had plenty of time to fix it. No, I'm not. I do not accept this. People Mover will be fine.
All right, Matt, number 7 on your list.
So the rest of my list, it's kind of unique. Look. Susie's like not on the screen anymore because she's laughing at me. It's amazing. I love looking at myself.
Continue, Matt. I'll change it just for you.
Okay. I don't even know where I lost.
Number 7.
7. Duh.
Okay. Number 7 is the ability to have customizable vacations at Walt Disney World. There is something for everyone.
It's true.
I hear all the time, I don't have kids, or, my kids are too old. There is something for everybody, and you can have a great time. Everything's customizable.
I like that. Wow.
Susie. What a salesman. All right, number 7.
Always
the sound. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna Alec Baldwin the rest of this thing. All right, number 7. The sound that the magic bands make when you go into the park.
Oh, fun.
Same when you would have, fast passes. But I love that ding sound. It makes me happy. I can hear it in my head like a crazy person just on a loop. But I miss it. Maybe I need to hear it again.
Maybe Genie will do that.
2 weeks.
Maybe it'll sing "Friend Like Me" or something whenever you scan. I don't know.
Or it'll go cha-ching.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Cha-ching with Chapek laughing. Number 7 on my list, eating around the world at Epcot. I love it. I love food and wine. It's my favorite festival. I love walking around to all the booths, and I've done it before. I've had something for every booth. I'll never do that again. And now it's just picking and choosing. But being able just to fill up completely and to drop a good $90 per person on just $3 here and $5 there and $4 here, and have a nibble of this, and a bite of that, and a cake of, and it's just. It's suddenly you've made it around halfway to, you started in Mexico, now you're in Japan, you're still not even done yet. And you're like, crap, my gift card for $120 is gone now. And I'm full and I'm still going. But there's just, and seasoned professionals like ourselves know which ones to go to immediately and know which ones we want to try definitely. Like Jen and I are big fans of the Canadian kiosk. And, I love the kibbie from the Greek one. And like there's some things I love, and everybody has their favorites, but I love eating around the world because it's such a unique premise that you don't get to do anywhere. You don't get to do that. Yep. So 7 for you, Jen.
The lobby and ambiance of the Tower of Terror, and of course the music that goes along with it. It's just it's perfect. It's perfect. My dream is just to let me in there to just look in depth at absolutely everything and sit and pretend like I'm playing mahjong while listening to everything. I don't even know how to play mahjong. I'll learn.
Huh? With McNair, didn't McNair take you back there? Didn't you guys go on like a little tour? Okay, yeah, you've done that.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. So it just looks cool.
Yeah, I'll do that as long as there's an exit door.
Oh no, I don't want the exit door. I want to look at it.
There is the exit door, Susie, at the very end when it opens up and you unbuckle and walk off.
No.
Number 6 on your list, Matt.
I love going to Disney with different travel groups. And when I say that, I mean, like, we just went with my parents. So our priorities were different going with them because they wanted to spend time with our 3-year-old. But I think of other times when we go with our travel agency, with our travel agents, and that's a completely different experience. Or going to Star Wars weekends with my friends, going to the parks with Susie.
Thank you. And doing podcasting things.
Podcast stuff. It's just, and again, it kind of goes back to that last one that I had where it's customizable. There's literally something to do for everybody, and not every trip has to be a cookie cutter Disney experience.
Right.
I like that. Disney has so much opportunity to make so many different memories. Not every trip you can make every trip the same if you want, but every trip can be different based on who you're with and what's going on. And
absolutely.
Susie, 6.
Crying. What nighttime shows, regular shows, randomly on Pirates of the Caribbean, watching old people and their grandchildren, seeing my favorite server from Trail's End. His name is Ken. There's so many things at Disney that just make me so happy. And it's that weird feeling of like happy, emotional, nostalgic, and every memory comes back with it. I love crying at Disney World. I don't care anymore. I cry all the time.
I think I've only cried like once or twice maybe, and that was more of a milestone kind of like kid breakthrough kind of thing, because parents do that. But yeah, I could see
interesting.
I could see that. Number 6 on my list, Hidden Mickeys. I think Hidden Mickeys is such a unique premise, and it's such a fun thing, and I love the fact that they're everywhere. And of course, for the audience who don't quite know, which I think everybody should know at this point, but for Hidden Mickeys, basically they were a way for designers, originally a way for designers of rides and artists and everything to put their little touches in there. So they would put some sort of 3 circles into an attraction. One of the most famous being, of course, the plates at the Haunted Mansion, which are not always there. And you actually can see hidden Donalds on certain rides, like Kilimanjaro Safari. There's a hidden Minnie, I believe, in Jungle Cruise.
There's a hidden Donald in Haunted Mansion.
Hidden Donald on a Mansion. There's a hidden Tink at Big Thunder, or at least there was one.
There is.
And so there are other characters too, but the Hidden Mickeys they're so much fun. And I've actually taken trips before where the entire trip for me was nothing but Hidden Mickeys. Like I had a book and I was marking them off, watching them, and I'd stand looking at a roof of a small canopy, an animal cannibal, staring up into the piping. And I remember I had some like an Asian woman walk over and ask me what I was staring at, and I was trying to explain to her what was going on. I was pointing, and she was like, like amazed. She's bringing her kids over there to look, and I'm like, "That's a Hidden Mickey," and it was great. It was a great little moment. So Hidden Mickeys are awesome. Jen, number 6 on your list.
Sitting in the lobby of the Grand Floridian and listening to the pianist. Even better if I'm actually upstairs on the overlook, because there's like that little seating area outside of Enchanted Rose. Yeah. Getting some palm frites.
It's a little
hopefully.
echoey.
It's a little echoey. I loved the jazz band as well. I'm still bitter that they're not there, so I can't talk about that. But if I can get some palm frites and mac and cheese also from the Enchanted Rose while I'm listening, even better.
So Jen, if I'm at the Grand Floridian, what's the best way to get from there to All Star Music? Just I'm asking for a friend.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so confused. Like you're
asking,
what?
All right, Matt, we are hitting our top 5, which means only 5 more things per person before you can go to sleep. Number 5 on your list.
Number 5 for me, the theming of Walt Disney World.
Woo!
It's just it's the best of the best. I think you look at especially what they've done recently with Pandora and Galaxy's Edge. Everything is just so cohesive and so enveloping. Like you walk in and you are literally in another world. You are in another planet. But even going back to 1971 when Magic Kingdom, just the different lands and just being transported to Adventureland or Fantasyland. I love the history of Disney World and what they have done with theming across the parks.
Yeah.
So
that's a great way to put it. I got nothing else to add to that. So yeah. Susie, number 5 on your list.
We've given them a lot of praise tonight, but I mentioned it before with like cast members doing extra magic. I'm just going to say though, in general, the cast members work very hard.
Yes.
And they have to deal with a lot.
Right.
And most of them are in college and have no authority, and they have to deal. They put up with a lot. So cast members, that includes photo op, guest services, janitorial, house cleaning. Everyone works so hard to maintain that Disney standard. So thank you, cast members. And I know you guys had a rough year last year, so it's so good where everyone got to come, most everyone got to come back.
PSA service announcement for the guests: don't yell at your cast members. Don't berate your cast members. 98% of the time, they're only doing what they can do. If you have a problem that they can't solve, go to guest relations and go find a manager. That's the best thing you can do. And if you have a problem with a cast member, go to guest relations and say, Todd over at Adventureland was doing this, and give your grievances there, but don't do things to the cast member.
Yeah, but Todd's the worst though, so it's okay. Go ahead and berate Todd.
Yeah, Todd's not good. I mentioned Todd for a reason. Number 5 on my list, Disney challenges. And I've been privy to a couple of these now, including we did at this time in 2013, I thought it was a vaunted, doing 4 parks in one day and doing 6 parks in one day. Now I come to look back and go, 4 parks is nothing. I've done the 6 parks, the 2 water parks included. Then of course I did the 24 hours, the 50 attractions, 24 hours over an insanely busy weekend. And I and my friend Joey, and of course Matt's done this too, I know. We've done the Parkeology Challenge, where you try to ride all the attractions in one day. We came 1 away here. We were 2 away at Disneyland, which both have their own stories of what happened, what went wrong. But they're just so great. And they're so much fun to have challenges like that. And, everybody has versions of their own challenges of, I want to ride this many rides so-and-so times. I've heard stories of one kid who rode Everest like 40 times in a row. I've just eating challenges, whatever, but it's such a great place to put like a challenge forth and go do it. It's a goal of some sort to get done in a day or whatever. And my next current challenge is to get all 50 of those stupid gold statues, to get a picture of all of them, and it's going to take me probably
David
2 trips
Dollar
to do it, but I'm going to do it. Yes, the David Dollar stupid golden statue challenge. So I'm going after that. So that's my number 5. Jen, number 5 on your list.
Mine is the area music loops, which I think Matt already talked about. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I'm going to cheat a little bit and tell my favorite one, which I've heard has now been pulled. And again, I'm triggered. But the one from Epcot around the Innovations area.
Yeah.
I'm don't tell me it's still there. Okay. It's still there in my heart and in my soul.
Just walk in wearing like AirPods or something.
Yeah. Because that is the only acceptable music loop for Epcot. That's all.
Well, maybe it'll be included in the audio experiences when you get Genie Plus.
I have words right now.
Now I've been triggered.
Yeah. Triggered.
All right, Matt, we're running it down. Number 4.
Number 4 for me is, hold on, going back to my list here. I rearranged a couple of things. I'm like, flippity-flappity.
I've been doing that all night.
Yeah. I am going to go just with the entertainment quality side of things. So I'm thinking kind of shows. I have a soft spot in my heart for all the shows at Disney World, whether it's Fantasmic or Festival of the Lion King, Finding Nemo the musical, Dapper Dans, Voices of Liberty, the Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review. Just, I mean, it's world-class stuff. And again, Disney does it the best. And the cast members who do that are just so immensely talented. And it makes every trip that I go down worth it.
Susie.
All right. Number 4, character meet and greets. I know I have people who are waiting to go back. They have young kids, and they are. That's the thing that's still holding them from going back to Disney right now. They want that experience with their young children. And as an adult, I miss that. It's like the icing on the cake. I don't know why that expression suddenly eluded me, but it's the cherry on top. It's the whatever on the whatever. They're just, whether it's like a face character or not, they just add so much to the overall experience. I love talking with them and like getting into character and playing around with the actual characters. It's just so fun. Disney does such a good job at that. So I can't wait for that to return. Hopefully
soon.
Very
soon. Crossing my fingers, very soon. Number 4 on my list, the park icons, specifically Spaceship Earth and Cinderella's Castle. Now, the Tree of Life is great, but I don't really have an emotional attachment to the Tree of Life. It's great. I love it. It's beautiful, great pictures, blah, blah, blah. I could really talk about any one of these 17 park icons. I think Hollywood studios have had their existence. True. But specifically Cinderella's Castle and Spaceship Earth, because both go back to when I was a kid. And the first time I saw Cinderella's Castle, and the first time I really recognized Spaceship Earth, and maybe that Epcot wasn't actually in the ball, it was actually just a ride itself. But just, I've got, like, I joke about to my wife, Stephanie, about taking pictures of the fireworks. I'm like, you're not going to remember those fireworks. They all look the same. And here I am on my phone with 75 pictures of Spaceship Earth.
Nothing wrong with that.
From the side and from the bottom, from around the front, whatever. Same thing with the castle. From the back side of the castle, looking straight up and getting a little, and just it's so photogenic. Like Matt said, the picture opportunities, and just they're such unique and recognizable icons. I like Cinderella's Castle more than I do Sleeping Beauty Castle. It's my favorite castle because Disney World is my home. I love Spaceship Earth. I love the ride inside. I just love the park icons and how identifiable they are around the world. So yeah, that's my number 4 favorite things about Walt Disney World. Jenn, on your list.
Walking around the world, meaning, the back half of Epcot. I love it. We vary. We don't always start one way or another, but I just love to walk around and shop and eat and shop. And shop.
It's a good way to get your steps in too, because you don't really realize how far that is until you walk.
It's a mile.
Yeah,
it's a mile because
you're like
during the half marathons. That's like
we have to go around. Yeah,
to go around.
That's really awesome. Yeah, one of these days. No, I'll never do a half marathon. Maybe a 10K.
Yes, you will.
I'll never do a half marathon. Will. I have no interest in doing half marathon.
You can absolutely. You don't have to run the whole time.
Is I have no interest in doing
it. Waiting on my medals.
It could be up to another month, my friend. We have just get comfortable.
Mine's cool. So anyway,
well, Matt and I are getting 4 each. So
top 3, Matt. Number 3.
Number 3 for me. Food.
Glorious food.
Yes.
Yes. It is a common misconception, people, that they think Disney food is just all chicken fingers and hot dogs and hamburgers. And that may be true in some places, Magic Kingdom, but there are so, and especially as of late, again, going back to the whole Pandora thing, like Satuli
Yeah.
Canteen is
so
like
good.
my favorite quick
So-
service of like all time.
It's so
I don't
good.
know. It's
fucking
real,
cool.
but Docking
So
Bay 7 is
Mhm.
so good too.
Docking Bay,
Docking
the
Bay's good.
kefta, the kefta,
The kefta is very good.
very good.
Casey's Corner, corn dog nuggets.
Yeah,
Preach.
but I mean, date nights.
I'm not even kidding.
Like my wife and I we're going to. We try to do like a different restaurant that we haven't done
Yeah.
together. Each time we go down. When we go down on the 30th, we're going to Toledo.
Mhm.
But,
Nice.
We did Topolino's last time, and we did California Grill together a year ago. I think of the meal I had over at Gico. Like, these are world-class dining destinations. Like,
Mhm. They're
and
so
I know
good.
some people may laugh at me, but it really is true. They are so good. So do not think that Disney dining is going to limit you on what you can have in the experience.
Right.
And it's not all Mickey
good.
Mouse and Goofy running around either. There actually
Right.
is really
And-
good restaurants.
And you can do
Yeah.
that with the character meals too. I don't want to leave out the
Yeah.
character meals, but
Yeah.
When I was thinking about this, I was thinking like the really top-notch
Right.
places,
Yeah.
like the signature dining restaurants.
Yes. So good.
Call. All right, Susie, number 3 on your list.
Number 3, Fort Wilderness. I
Mm.
basically grew up at Fort Wilderness. I can't tell you when the first time it was that I stayed at a Disney hotel that wasn't Fort Wilderness.
Mhm.
I was definitely probably in high school or college. Just because when we would go down as a family, obviously as a minor, when I am not driving my own car and have no money, we're going as a family in the motorhome. And there's just, you feel so safe. It's so quiet. My brother and I would just go on bike rides or, the Razor scooters and destroy our ankles. And the pool is great. And there's so many activities. And there's the cabin. I could sing the praises of Fort Wilderness all night. I just absolutely love that place.
I love that you love Fort Wilderness so much. Like, I have no emotional attachment to it. I like it. It's nice. I've been there, but it's not like I love Fort Wilderness. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You just really, out of all the places, like Jenn and her Grand Floridian, I think that's cool that you have that attraction to Fort
Yeah.
Wilderness.
Mhm.
Nice. Number 3, and this is a very broad term, but Disney with friends. No, I love going with my family.
Aw.
I love being with my family. I do. And that's off the charts. That's like number 111 plus, whatever. We'll get there, whatever. But Disney with friends, with people who get it. And when you're with people who get it, like when you go down with your travel agent family or
Mhm.
close friends or whatever, people who just understand it. And like, what instantly comes to mind since we're on the show here is when Jenn and Susie and I were together for the afternoon at Magic Kingdom. We got to ride some rides together and just chat about Disney, and like, we understood each other immediately.
fun.
There was, about things being closed and, aggravations
Mhm.
about COVID and just whatever, people, you understood it. And there's something to be said for that. Plus doing things like when I saw Matt in the parks not too long ago, and we were able to commiserate over the Disney Hawaiian shirts that we had on and such. And just, it was I don't know, I love Disney with friends, being down there with people who just understand it, which is why I'm so excited to be down there on the 1st, not just with my people, but also with all my other people from all the other places I'm going to get to see you guys and a whole bunch of other people I never get to see. So I'm really excited about that. So Disney with friends.
Woo.
Jenn.
This is a very specific one, but actually spending Christmas Day in the Magic Kingdom, which we
Huh.
chose to do this past year because we're like, it'll never be this not crowded again on Christmas Day. We'll probably be able to move. So, and we like everything else because 2020, like our normal, Christmas shows that we do and all the music stuff, it was all canceled. So we were like going to Disney World. It was the bomb. It was amazing. The character cavalcades were great. Just being
Aw.
there. And like it was so festive and everybody was so jolly and fun and it was wonderful and magical. So I loved it.
I'll never go Christmas Day. It's just, I don't know, something about it just scares me. It does.
Oh no, it was worth, but I mean, we don't have children. So,
Right. That's very true.
that was
very
our
true.
like, we opened up the Christmas gift of going and watching Cinderella Castle and seeing everything.
Nice.
It's great.
Aw.
Yep.
I love that.
All right, Matt, number 2.
Number
getting
2 for me,
real.
and I think pretty much everybody has had them at some point on their list, but the cast members.
Mhm.
And I have them at 2 because I really think that Disney World is not Disney World without the cast members.
Yeah.
From the smallest role to the largest role. Every single one of them they are the ones responsible for making sure that you have a good time. And without them, you would be lost. I would be lost. We would all be lost.
Very true.
So I think they just make the experience. I don't know what else to say about them.
Amazing.
Nice. All right, Susie.
Number 2, I think literally I could have just said 50 times like the memories I have at Disney.
Disney, and his first roller coaster was on the Barnstormer, and his first, some of his first Mickey waffle, his first hamburger was at Disney World at Plaza Restaurant. His first corn dog was at Casey's. So his first his first haircut on Main Street, and one of the things I remember most is the milestone we had a breakthrough when he was, I don't know, maybe a year old, 2 years old, when he wasn't, like, he didn't go to anybody, he didn't touch anybody or whatever. And as we're holding him, he reaches out and grabs Rapunzel's hand and starts stroking her hand and just doesn't say a word. Kind of mommy's holding him. He's kind of looking up, snuggled into mommy's neck, looking up at Rapunzel. And it was just like mommy was crying and I had tears in my eye. And I'm like, Rapunzel, you just do not understand what just happened. She starts like tearing up. And it was just, I love moments like that Disney gives you, because again, you wouldn't get that at Six Flags. We wouldn't have that with a Bugs Bunny character walking around. And so there's just so many opportunities to have so many memories, like grained in real memories like that. So milestones are huge for me and for our family. So number 2 on the list is milestones. Jen, for you.
Again, another specific one, and this is the surprise fireworks cruise that Brady planned for us on our honeymoon, and I didn't even know those existed. And so awesome. So we did it was like a private dinner out on the balcony at the Grand Floridian, and then we went down to the pier. We just took a walk, and he's like, all right, we're gonna get on this boat. I'm like, what? And the cast member like turned on the music. And it was Wishes. Because that's when it was Wishes. So the Wishes music was playing and everything was right there. Oh, it was so amazing and magical. And that's when I discovered what else you could do at Disney, like besides just going and running around a theme park. So
all the cool adult stuff.
The cool adult stuff. Exactly. It's like,
love it. All right, Matt, what's your favorite thing about Walt Disney World?
Oh man, come down to the end of the list, and
gosh, I'm nervous.
I think it just boils down to Disney World is where my family makes special memories. We have memories elsewhere, but I think not just with my wife and child, but like from my childhood, Disney World is where I remember growing up. And experiencing and spending time with both friends and family. And I know sometimes we can be negative about it and we don't like change, but in the end, it's still just an amazing place to spend time with people that you love.
It's good. That's really good. Susie, what is your favorite thing about Walt Disney World?
This is hard. But the thing that I picked is because it represents a lot. And I picked the partner statue. And there's a reason that Walt is looking out down Main Street the opposite way, showing Mickey. He didn't get to see Disney World completed. And we wouldn't have Disney World if we didn't have Disneyland. David was talking about that earlier with the trash cans and everything that, we were able to bring from there and what was innovated. And the history, the story, the everything that even though he wasn't there, like you can still feel him in the parks, and just the visionariness that comes from all of that. And there's technology that touch screens were one of the things that were innovated at Epcot. And now that's just like part of our daily lives. And so it's crazy that the cultural, technological impact that especially for like tourism in Florida, I guess like the economical impact that Disney World has had, and it was all because of Walt's vision, and I think that's summed up in the partner statue. So I had that at number 1.
Very nice. And I think going along with that, my favorite thing about Walt Disney World is Disney World history. There is so much history behind those parks and so much to the story of how those parks were built. And I love Disneyland history too. I've read about Disneyland. Opening day is like legendary about what a fiasco it was. But the way Walt came about and we talked about this last week on our episode, the way Walt came about in building Walt Disney World, clearing the land, buying the land, bringing people in to build things is just, I eat that up. I do. I love learning about that and reading books about that. And I think there's so much history to just about everything in that park, and everything in that park nearly has a purpose. The fact that they put backstories, they make backstories up. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're stupid, but they're there for just about everything there. And I love that Walt Disney World has so much history. I consider myself an amateur Disney historian. I know I only know like 1/10 of 1% of everything at Walt Disney World, but I'm always wanting to learn more. And it's one place that I always want to learn more about. And there's a reason I subscribe to like 5 Disney podcasts. A lot of them are just about Disney history because I want to know. And I love the Disney history and the stories behind all the things. Love it. So that's my favorite thing about Walt Disney World. Jen, what's your favorite thing about Walt Disney World?
I love the feeling of Walt Disney World. And that is just like the feeling I get when I walk into pretty much any of the 4 theme parks. Maybe a little less Animal Kingdom, not because I don't love it, but just because it's like newer, like growing up, the other ones were more classic. Right. But I can walk into Main Street USA and there's the smells and there's the windows, and I can look and just take my time and see the castle and see all the the balloons and everything. Or I can walk into Epcot and see whatever the amazing centerpiece topiaries are, and hopefully with a festival, and go around and see Spaceship Earth. And now with no monoliths, I can see the fountain. And so just walking in there and being like, oh, it's wonderful. Or walking down Hollywood Studios and looking at the shops. I mean, it's just this feeling of, oh, I'm here, I'm happy. It's like
everything else has stopped.
Literally, the rest of
the world has stopped.
Yes.
Yeah,
stopped.
Like it doesn't exist.
That is my favorite thing. 100%.
I love it. So, folks, that is 200 things to love about Walt Disney World, with some crossover, obviously, that we have knocked out in 3 episodes, and I hope you guys have loved it. We run long here, so we're going to shut this thing down pretty quickly. Matt and Susie, and I guess for Jen too, we're all either at the parks or we're headed to the parks like right now as people are listening to this. So,
I'm there.
I'm assuming
we're there.
There's tons of content coming from everybody. Susie and Matt, where can we find you guys online to follow your podcast and to see all the stuff you're going to be posting in the next few days?
Yeah, absolutely. Come find us by subscribing to the podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your podcast. You can find us by searching for the ImagineEars Disney Podcast. And the same thing goes with social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So come find us.
Very cool. Jen, real quick, where can we find you for all the content and stuff that I'm probably going to be in some of?
At Upon a Star Jen, or my personal Instagram at Jen_Novotny.
Awesome. Find me at The Magic on a Dollar on Instagram. Find me on Facebook, Disney on a Dollar and Magic on a Dollar. And of course, find the show, themscpodcast.com. At Gmail is our email address. And of course, we're on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We're going to be loading up all these pages with all kinds of fun stuff from Disney World for the 50th anniversary. Happy birthday, happy anniversary to Disney World. Matt and Susie, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a blast walking through this with you guys.
Well, thanks for having us. Yeah, this
Always
was
a
super
pleasure.
fun.
For the ImagineEars, for Matt and Susie, for Jen, I am Dave. And hey, don't forget to thank your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.